This video shows how to use Maui to define a buffer browser user interface for Magma. This is Squeak 5.1 upon launching. First, I'll install Maui and Magma using the Squeak map catalog. There they are. It doesn't matter which order to install them. You need the server minimum. I'll install this. And then Maui. Okay, now that those are installed, use one of the class-side constructor methods of Magma buffer controller. This represents would be the main user interface screen of browsing a single database. So you can see here that it has a session to the database, caches its primitive attributes, and then these buffer facades are instances of, they encapsulate one buffer. So, and they provide the facade, the API, to access the attributes, both getting and setting on those buffers. I think setting. And so on the class side, you can create an instance if you know the location of it, if it's not already open, or if it's a remote repository, you can just specify that. Or if you already have an in-image session, then you can do that, and you can see this actually uses that method. So I'm going to use that right now because I don't have any in-image sessions. Whoops. You can type the name of a directory, a Magma database directory that's in the local directory where you're running the image, and then send it the message as Magma local location to create that. Okay, so then this gives us the instance of the Magma buffer controller. It says a Magma buffer controller. I'm going to press the C key to open a class browser on this so that we can look at the behaviors that we can, there aren't any defined currently. So let's look at the accessing behaviors. Buffer at, that's the OID integer. That should be more specific. Oh, here we go. Here's the root buffers. Okay, the anchor buffer. Let's take a look at that. Click. It says a root anchor. Now that, if you're a Magma expert, you know that the true root of every Magma database is an instance of MA root anchor, and it has the real application root as well as the repository definition. So it's a way to, so when you send root to a session, you get that. Anyway, we're not talking about Magma right now. Let's open up a panel on this. I pressed the N key for new panel. Let's see if that's on the... No, it's not. I need to add that to the menu so that it would be in the... oh, there it is. Design new view. That's it. And the N key. Okay. I pressed C again on this object, the root anchor object, and we got the buffer facade. Here are the attributes we can look at on the buffer. Okay, we want to know its class ID probably. certainly the oid, and the referenced buffers. Those are the buffers that it references. Click, click. So if you don't have to click them, so we'll make these automatic. It's right here. Select strategy, select the auto, and same for this. Auto. And let's edit this. We know we want the panel view, not the word view. We'll show you what it looks like. Here's the word view. It says 2 buffer facades. We know, we just looked at the root anchor. It has a root and a definition. So there they are. That's what they are. Okay, but we want to see those in a nicer, in a list format. So the way to do that is to press E on the message, which means edit, and I'll show you that. It's the settings. Press E. And the result view is currently Word. There is a built-in panel view for all collections, which shows it in a list view. The preview view, produced view, we don't really need that, so I'll set that to nil. And let's make this an auto as well. Okay, and by automatically it's already done it. So I don't actually have, so here's the root object. It's called a GeoWorld. And I don't have that class loaded here, but this is, it knows that that's the class of object that is. Now, if I inspect this, pressing I, it's a buffer facade. It only has a buffer with these oid 4067237, yes. Now these columns, we can see headers on these by hovering carefully just inside, not here and not out here, but on the collection object itself. So we can see the reference buffers, and then that's the message, and then the result is that collection object. So then I'm going to press escape to open up the menu and say generate heading. And I've decided that Maui should do this automatically, so I'm going to change Maui to do that, but for now you have to click it off the menu. So these are the columns in these buffers. So this is a nice little panel, but so let's go ahead and save it. So I'm going to press escape, go to tools. You can also press, shift menu up to get that, and then it's manage views. Remember view as, let's call it buffer view. We'll just call it buffer. Okay. Now let's change this result view to buffer. And actually what we want that to be the produced view. We want the word view as the result, so it'll show it there, and then for the produced view, do it that way. Okay, so let's reset that. And now we tear it off, and we've got that. Now there's one more thing we want to do probably, and then we could just select buffer off any one of these and start navigating the database. So here's a dictionary here. That will probably require some more special Maui coding. Here's a set, code base, Magma ID. Anyway, you can browse the database. Let's see if how this looks. Yeah, so the way it's stored in a dictionary is you have the keys and values alternating. So that's something that would require some special handling to do nicely. This isn't automatic. That should be automatic. So it didn't do it up here either. So if we press S on this one, then it updates the ones that are already on the screen. Okay, so you can take it from there. That's a basic buffer browser, and obviously a lot more. This was done in just a few minutes. For another few hours, you could make incremental improvements onto this.